in my brain. We'll go reverse in our plans, then return to understand how we got here stranded like the fall of man. Stop backsliding, you've got to wait. Don't you hear me? I'm sounding all alarms. Don't touch that door. Don't you know you'll break me all over and over again? Watch me drown, saw me die. No remorse, not a drop in eye. With the still light pose and a frozen mind. You start believing, it stops my breathing. I can suffocate at the sound of by. Stop backsliding, you've got to wait. Don't you hear me? I'm sounding all alarms. Don't touch that door. Don't you know you'll break me all over and over again? Stop backsliding, you've got to wait. Don't you hear me? I'm sounding all alarms. Don't touch that door. Don't you know you'll break me all over and over again? Stop backsliding, you've got to wait. Don't you hear me? I'm sounding all alarms. Don't touch that door. Don't you know you'll break me all over and over again? I'm going eastbound. I'm going eastbound, right to the dark, yeah. I won't chase the sun down. I head for the door.
Hello, 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 ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of The Fifth Dimension with your boy HMK. You already know what it's time for. It's that season once again. It's the best time of the year once again. When it comes to the rumors, the predictions, the hype of the possibilities at hand for another Nintendo Direct. One that could be set up to be the best of the year and the best among many years. We have a lot to talk about within this hour. And to bring home the hype when it comes to awesome Nintendo goodness, the possibilities for the rest of the year, please welcome my boy, PhillyBeatzU. How you doing today?
Yo, what's going on, bro?
Ooh, you already know it's time. It's high time. Nintendo needs to show us the goods.
It's time, dude. I heard Nintendo Direct rumors in the title, bro. I'm ready. This is going to be a jam-packed episode. I'm so excited to talk about this stuff.
Oh man, you already know. So the first thing we gotta talk about, like, you know, the big elephant in the room. There's way bigger elephants in the room. We have a lot of things to talk about in terms of topics and whatnot, but let's get our feet wet just like a tad bit. When do you
put in the
think,
toes.
Yeah, the dip in the toes. When do you think the Nintendo Direct is gonna happen? I feel it's gonna happen next week. A lot of people think it's gonna happen next week. I'm confident it's gonna happen next week.
I definitely think next week as well. That was like, it has to be next week, dude. It's like, there's no other way. It's got to be a February one. It's time.
Right? A lot of people's been saying that, like, it could be as late as, you know, the next week afterwards, like, the week of the 13th, the week of Valentine's Day, basically. And I'm like, I don't know about Nintendo trying to compete with Valentine's Day. You know, I had a homie said that, it's going to take place the Wednesday, literally the day after Valentine's Day. I'm like, bro, no one's gonna be awake after baby making day. It's not gonna happen.
It's true. I agree. Yeah.
So, like, you know, if a direct happens before Valentine's Day, that's a great opportunity to talk about video games with your loved ones. Just like, imagine a candlelight dinner and you guys look in each other's eyes and he's like, hey, you know, I just wanted to let you know that Tears of the Kingdom is finally coming out. Can you just imagine that conversation?
Dude, it's going right to the baby making after that, bro.
Exactly. Bro,
oh,
I'd be hyped.
Be before.
Man, you don't. Everyone in the chat, don't lie to yourselves. You'll be the same way too. So I honestly do believe that's going to be happening next week, and honestly, the sooner the better, because Nintendo's investor report is happening. The next one, at least, is happening the 7th, right? And I don't think it's happening the same day, but you know, it's probably going to happen in the vicinity because investors are going to be like, "Hey, listen, where the money? Where the games? Where's the engine that's gonna cause us to get more fundage that we put into your company, right?"
That's right.
So I feel Nintendo's gonna be like, hey, you know, because you know how they always announce a direct like a day or two before the actual thing.
Yeah,
like that would honestly be the best like storm to announce the direct. Like the investor meeting is happening and the investors probably pissed as fuck because, you know, where's the Tears of the Kingdom news? We're like
exactly.
You know, consumers and investors are wondering the same thing from this damn company.
And the thing is, dude, we are in Q1 with 1 month already gone.
Right.
Why would you do this at the end of Q1? You got to announce this right in Q1. Dead center Q1 would be the most ideal time to release this information. And then the earlier, the better, because, you know, there's conventions coming up, dude.
Exactly. You know, there's PAX East, there's Gamescom, there's GDC, which is also happening in March. You know, we need information now. And, like, not only we as consumers, but also investors from Nintendo needs information now. So, when the investor meeting is happening, you know, before it actually happens over in Japan, Nintendo will have the announcement tweet saying that, hey, there's a direct happening tomorrow. So imagine they have announced the fact that a direct is happening the day of the investors meeting. The investors like, okay, all right, a direct's happening tomorrow. Okay, all right. Well, we got you. Now, how are those earnings doing? Like, and then that's probably gonna go down. That's probably how they're gonna shut up investors or whatnot.
All
so I
connected.
feel it. Yeah. Oh yeah. Easily. Right. Now, when it comes to the contents of said Nintendo Direct, we got to, like, we're gonna bookend the stream by talking about it now and then it at the end. Let's just get the big elephant in the room out of the way. Tears of the Kingdom, The Legend of Zelda, Zelda 20. I'm ready. I know you're ready. We're both ready. We're all ready. I just need, like, okay, let's get your thoughts out there in the process. If and when, I'm not even gonna say if, when they show off Tears of the Kingdom, what do you think they're going to show off in terms of, like, anything from what we've seen, because it's funny, as much as we know about this game, it's like we don't know about this game. So
Yeah.
what do you want to see, and what do you think Nintendo's going to show off in terms of Tears of the Kingdom at this direct?
I need to see how the overworld has been changed, right?
Right.
What's the difference? Because there's got to be something different, right? If it's the exact same copy paste over again and nothing different on the main overworld, that's gonna hurt.
Oh no, but
So
but there is difference. From the last trailer, we saw there's a big difference, man.
Yeah.
Hyrule's getting torn up.
It's getting ripped apart. I'm hoping we see some, underground kind of cave gameplay.
Ooh,
Maybe
yeah.
show some different stuff off. It'll be so funny if they don't break weapons in this trailer, the next one, or when they show that next one off. I think that'll be funny as heck, because that was a big complaint. That was a lot of people were split on that one when it came to that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the weapons. I'm looking forward to showing different environments, right? Showing our gameplay, maybe different types of systems involving crafting or upgrading weapons.
Please.
So definitely those are some big things I'm looking forward to. And then maybe even, revealing some amiibos off and showing different compatibility and what they can do.
Honestly, because, a lot of people really don't talk about this, but Breath of the Wild's amiibo compatibility went in. That shit was raw.
Yep.
Like, I love the amiibo compatibility in what do you call them? Breath of the Wild. Let me tell you a little story, Philly. I need to tell you a little story. All right?
Sitting down, I'm listening.
When Nintendo first sent me the Switch and Breath of the Wild, and they sent me amiibos ahead of time. They sent me the first wave of Zelda amiibos, and I already was collecting the Smash Zelda amiibos, like Smash Link, from Smash Wii U. You guys already know Twilight Princess base Link, blah 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 blah, Wind Waker base Link, blah blah blah, Ganondorf, yada yada yada. Anyways, the point of the story is that I was setting up the Switch, and I'm like, I'm gonna play Breath of the Wild. It's gonna be so fun. And then I'm like, okay, I need some help, because I was like, that was a time where I was living by myself, and I called one of my homies. You guys would know him, Martin. And I called Martin. I'm like, hey, yo, you want to come over? And like, yo, I got Breath of the Wild. He's like, you what? And I'm like, yeah, I got it early. So like, yo, he zoomed to my house. So we're out here just like playing the game. We get off the Great Plateau and whatnot. And then that's at the point where we unlocked amiibo functionality, right? And I'm like,
Right.
okay, let's see what these amiibos do. What did they do? Because we didn't get an idea what they did, because Nintendo didn't talk about it before, and I got the game before Street Date. So I'm like, and there was nothing in the NDA that said anything about amiibos, or to like not talk about, right? Because there's plenty in the NDA, which still burns me to this day, where it's like, hey, don't talk about Eventide Island. Okay, all right, I didn't know what Eventide Island was. Fine. Hey, don't talk about Linos. Oh, Linos are in this game. Great, thanks, Nintendo. Hey, don't talk about the dragons. The what? Hey, don't talk about the Yiga clan. Fine, right? So the functionality was not present within the NDA. So then I'm using the amiibos, and I used the first one, and it was I decided to use the Ocarina of Time. It wasn't Ocarina of Time Link. I think it was Wind Waker Link. I forgot. Anyways, just a bunch of crates fell, right? A bunch of like boxes, the treasure chest, and I opened one, and it was a piece of clothing from a previous Zelda like incarnation of Link, right? And I'm like, oh, that's so cool. And I'm like, oh, and I gotta try the rest of these. And then Philly, the surprise on me and my homie's face when I tapped the Twilight Princess Link, the one from Smash, I tapped it, and it summoned Epona. And I'm like, and I look at each other, and he's like, yo, is that Epona? And I'm like, yeah, bro, we just get Epona for free? That. And then it's like, oh, yeah, the Epona of Legend, the legendary horse. So I'm like, that's crazy. So long story short, the amiibo functionality in Breath of the Wild was insane. And I want to see the same amount of insane, like, whoa, in Tears of the Kingdom. Like, Nintendo, don't be afraid. I don't care what anybody says. Bring back all those tunic abilities. Like, I want to be able to get my Fierce Deity tunic. I want to get my sky tunic of the sky, tunic of twilight, tunic of time, all that shit. Bring it back. I want to see that and more. Please.
We need it, dude. The amount of crossover was just amazing.
Dude, it was so good, and I'm like, it kind of had me like sitting down, just like, okay, I'm gonna try. Oh, I don't get a piece of clothing. Reset. Try reset. Okay, cool. The cap, got it. And like, good memories. Good memories.
The crazy part about this next Zelda game is the bar is set so high.
Yep.
That's what's nuts, right? It's like, how do you break one of the greatest games? How do you go beyond that? And so I think like the expectations are really high, and they really have to deliver this time, especially with this next game.
Oh, easily. I'm confident, even though like I'm pretty sure everyone in the chat is like obviously aware. Despite not having any like a good concise amount of information of this game compared to how Breath of the Wild was marketed, it's like I'm confident because I was really going into Breath of the Wild like, oh, there's the next big Zelda game. Okay, big open seamless world. And I played it at E3 before. I played multiple times before I actually sat down and played the game. And I'm like, okay, how good can this game be? Oh man, right?
Yeah.
So like my expectations were like blown out of the water and then some when I first played Breath of the Wild. So that's why I have confidence in Tears of the Kingdom. But at the same time, we need more information. From what I think we're gonna see when it comes to the direct, if they show off stuff, is that obviously, if they want to stay hush and mum on the story, I understand, fine. But we're gonna need to see more gameplay, you guys. We need to see combat. Think about this, Philly. We've seen gameplay before. We've seen gameplay. There's been 3 trailers. We've seen gameplay. We have not seen combat. We have not seen combat. 3 trailers in.
They're saving it, dude. They're saving it.
Saving it for what? I need
They're
it.
saving it. Maybe there's gonna be more crazy combos. I don't know, man.
Bro, I hope we get some crazy combos. Yo, Nintendo, come on, 6 years waiting for this game. There better be some better
Yo, it's
combos.
crazy. This is the game that launched the Switch, dude. It's still like, what? And like, it's crazy. And we're getting it again. We're getting it again now, 6 years later.
Ugh, man, it's gonna be good. And I feel that Nintendo is gonna have like a big, like it's enough beating around the bush because Fire Emblem Engage is out and about, right? And Kirby is about to release this month. I feel that this direct is going to be dominated by Tears of the Kingdom, right? It's going to have like a big focus. They're going to take up like 20 minutes. Please, God, I would eat that up.
Oh my gosh.
Aoyama just breaking down aspects of the game. It's like, this is how it's different from Breath of the Wild. You can do this. You can do crafting. You can upgrade your combos. You can now dual wield. You can now do this. You can do that and stuff.
Yes.
Oh my God. The hype, like Josh NT, I understand the hype is dangerous, but it's not our fault. It's not our fault. All right.
They set the bar.
They really did. They really did. They really did. But I feel that it's going to be set up in a really, really good way. If any, like hell, we might even get a Nintendo Treehouse segment after the direct that fleshes out Breath of the Wild.
Oh my gosh, we haven't had that in a bit.
Exactly, that fleshes out Tears of the Kingdom. I would love that 100%, please. Right? And then they could show off amiibos, special edition Pro Controller, special edition OLED, all that stuff. Pre-orders start today, type shit. And oh, bro, I need y'all to understand. Y'all need to be ready when it comes time for them to announce the pre-orders are ready to go because the special edition or the master edition is gonna like go away like that, right? And people are gonna fight tooth and nail for that. So good luck to all y'all. And wish me luck as well because I need that yesterday.
Oh, we're going to battle for that, dude.
Oh yeah,
battle for that.
Ooh, it's gonna be grand. Now let's talk about that a little bit. We're gonna talk about the possibilities of a master edition, and then we're gonna talk about a little bit back and forth on a little aspect of story theories when it comes to Tears of the Kingdom. Then we're gonna move on to the next aspect of the Nintendo Direct. So the original Masters Edition, which I never was able to get, thanks Nintendo. Came with a Switch case, which I still use because I have the collector's edition. It comes with the game, it comes with the map, it comes with whatchamacallit, it comes with a coin and something else. What else? Like, whatever. But the Master Edition came with the little Master Sword statue, and I'm so mad that I was never able to get that. What do you think, off the top of your head, what a Tears of the Kingdom special edition, a Master Edition, could come with?
Give me a figure, dude. Give me a figure.
Ooh, an exclusive figure that you can only get from Master Edition. That's dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, but that would be peak, dude. Having a little figure in there that only can be done via the collector's edition, not sold separately anywhere else.
Yo, it's gonna be a figure like this, and then it's gonna go for like $1,000 because of that, because of what you're suggesting.
Yeah, man, I need it, dude. Give me something that makes it really exclusive. You know what I mean?
Right.
If I'm gonna fight for this pre-order, it's gotta be worth it.
Oh yeah, definitely. Young Mango says maybe an art book. An art book would be amazing, but like unfortunately, I don't think it's gonna be an art book because they usually leave Zelda specifically. They usually leave art books for like their Dark Horse companion books that they release, like Arts and Artifacts, Creating a Champion, and all stuff. They leave it for those. And I'm telling you, if they're gonna make another one for Tears of the Kingdom, I am 100% down for that. I would like, yo, I'll buy 5 copies, right?
Mm.
So, like you're saying a figurine, and I'm thinking like a metal version of the new Master Sword, like the one that's like turning into a green blade
Ooh.
and stuff like that, something like that.
Okay.
You know, and not in a pedestal, because obviously like the sword has been like bashed up to hell and back. It's not like you're gonna pull it out of a pedestal.
Right.
Have it on the little, like, you know those little like pen stands, you know, like when you go to like a fancy office, if you're going to a lawyer, and they have those like really obnoxious pen stands that holds the pen like horizontally. It's like, oh, what, you can't let it like stand on the fucking desk, something like that to hold the blade in.
Okay.
You know?
Okay. Yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
That's
Ooh,
that'd
ooh.
be interesting, dude.
Yo, Michael in the YouTube chat put up a good point. Oh, yo, can you imagine, like, going off your idea, can you imagine if that statue was a statue of like Ganondorf's dead body with the hand coming out of it?
Yo, that's a dark pre-order, bro.
Yo, I would
That would
scream.
be nuts.
I would scream. I would scream. I would scream.
The
That-
hand.
Yeah, nah, that's over. That's over. I was just like, oh, like the corpse of the fallen king. I'm like, bro, that sounds dope. So going off of the Master Edition, let's talk about story aspects of Tears of the Kingdom really quick. Like, you know, just dance around that thing. All right, so for those who are living under a rock when it comes to Tears of the Kingdom's own promotions and whatnot, this is going to take place after Breath of the Wild, in the same universe, the same world, literally right after the game. We don't know how long after the game, maybe a year, maybe some months, maybe a couple of weeks, or right after the end of Breath of the Wild in terms of the true ending. With that being said, Link and Zelda find themselves underground and then coming across Ganondorf's dead corpse, right? And with that being said, a lot of people say like, oh, I'm not sure that's Ganondorf. It might be Demise. I'm like, listen, you guys, bro. Red hair, Gerudo adornments, Gerudo imagery on his sash and belt or whatever that is. And, you know, the malice eyes from Calamity Ganon. And he has the jewel on his forehead. And Ganondorf's theme plays in the trailer when they reveal the body. Like when people's like, oh, I don't know if that's Ganondorf. I'm like, really? So Ganondorf's dead body, and then he wakes up and tears Hyrule apart. And for some reason, we're going to be going to the sky, which we don't know. And thanks to the logo, from what we see with Tears of the Kingdom, with the two dragons consuming each other, which is kind of like Ouroboros, it's heavily, if not 97% confirmed, 97% confirmed that the Zonai is going to play a huge role in this game, which was like a huge chunkage of Zelda community and Zelda content creator theorization points from how much we didn't know about them from Breath of the Wild and how much they decided to talk about them in Creating a Champion, right? So with that being said, Philly, where do you see Tears of the Kingdom going in terms of story building off of what do you call it, Breath of the Wild going into this game? And it's Elva. Thank you so much for the raid over on Twitch. How y'all doing today? Welcome into the 5th dimension. All right, so Philly, what do you think?
Dude, that's heavy. What can the story do? Wow. Well, here's the thing, right? I'm a player who hasn't gone through every Zelda game, right? Like, I've gone through a couple of them.
Right. So,
And-
but you don't have to know about all of those, like, in the past Zelda games. All I have to do, like, you know, from Breath of the Wild, because I know you play that game to hell and back.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Oh man. Well, I feel like we got through all the feels story, right? Of all the champions. Like those hit me in the feels. But I'm trying to see, like, how deep can you actually go? Like, that's the thing. It's Ganondorf's taken back over, right? We have to fight him.
Oh, I'm ready for that round.
Dude, that's gonna be crazy. Like, the fact that he's back.
Round
What? I
whatever.
wonder
Like,
I wonder what the sky, like, are there pieces of things we have to collect via the sky? Are there new characters we're going to be introduced to that move the story along? You know, new allies.
man, I'm like the whole aspect of new just gets me so excited.
It's,
Just
yeah,
like,
it's
you
just
know-
like there's so much, like, they can keep introducing new things versus like what I'm used to or what I'm thinking. Like, There's so many new characters they can introduce that they felt like it. It's just there's a lot there that they can play with.
Oh yeah. Because the whole return, because one big aspect as like a huge Zelda guy myself, like one huge aspect that a lot of people really need to understand is a couple things all linking towards Ganondorf, right? One is that we have not seen Ganondorf in a main new Zelda game for more than 10 years. Think about that. Did you know that, Philly?
I didn't know. The last time I played him was on the Wii, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Twilight Princess. That's the last time we've seen Ganondorf.
That's when I beat him. That's when I beat him.
2006.
That's crazy.
That's like, but people are like, oh, but Smash, oh, but the re-releases, oh, but Hyrule Warriors. No, and no, right? So the last time we've seen Ganondorf in the flesh as Ganondorf was Twilight Princess 2006. And that's one aspect. The other aspect is that since Ganondorf is now going to be, hopefully, a cognitive, thinking, intelligent being aside from the Calamity Ganon, which was like a force of basically unnatural nature that's bent on destroying all that is alive in Breath of the Wild, there's going to be a lot of context that was missing from Breath of the Wild now given to us through Ganondorf, and how he could talk and how he could, convey of what happened to him and what he knows. Because for the most part, except for a couple of straggling areas, I mean, like, okay, when it comes to the entire, like, I would say, identity of Ganon started as a man, Ganondorf Dragmire from Ocarina of Time. And then depending on the timeline and how it was split off from Ocarina of Time and his own fate, he goes on to become Ganon and stays transformed as Ganon, dies as Ganon, gets reborn as Ganon, and blah, 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 blah. But for the most part, except for Forest Swords Adventures, Ganondorf has always been the same person, right? He was the same person from Ocarina of Time that he was in Wind Waker. He was the same person from Ocarina of Time as he was in Twilight Princess. And then in Twilight Princess, he actually did die when the Triforce of Power left him. And he was reincarnated as a person again in the game after that, which was Forest Swords Adventures, but we never see him as Ganondorf because by the time we meet him up, he's already transformed as Ganon because he took over, he stole the Trident of Power. The case in point is that Ganondorf has for the most part been the same person. I want to hope that Ganondorf in Breath of the Wild or in Tears of the Kingdom is the same Ganondorf that we saw in Wind Waker, that we saw in Twilight Princess, that we saw in Ocarina of Time. And since, Hyrule isn't underwater, and before you guys get said, oh, maybe the waters receded, that's not how it works. I'm still holding on to the notion that Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom could take place in the child timeline, in which Ganondorf died, but like he got reincarnated, but then I have a huge theory on that. Anyways, it's like he died, but his body was left intact because like he still had the scar or the puncture in his chest, and that's where the mouse leaks off. Blah 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 blah. I just want to learn more about Zelda's history that was so hanky panky in Breath of the Wild. I want some concrete, actual info, evidence, and proof through Ganondorf. And that's what I want more.
Less speculation because the game gives the concrete story. Exactly.
That's what I want. That's what I want mostly in Tears of the Kingdom. Now, of course, we're going to keep talking about Tears of the Kingdom, but this is an Nintendo Direct rumors and prediction stream. So for the next thing, other than Tears of the Kingdom, Philly, what do you think we could see at Nintendo Direct? Maybe next week.
I mean, when is Octopath 2 coming out? I feel like they'll go over some of the games coming out.
Right.
So that one's gonna probably get covered. We got Xenoblade stuff. Yeah, Xenoblade stuff for sure. Let's see. I've realized I've reached the point where Nintendo Directs, I'm never gonna be like hyped about Pokemon stuff via Nintendo Directs.
Yeah, because they always have their own stuff.
They have their own Directs, and a lot of people and fans like get this confused. It's like, hey, Pokemon now does their own thing. Pokemon's got their own event coming up as well. It's Pokemon Day, literally in February as well. So they got their own event. So I removed Pokemon from the equation for that stuff. Let's see. I mean, what are your thoughts on them? I don't think they'll be announcing new hardware, right?
Definitely not.
Makes no sense. And a lot of people think that, but it's not. It's not time yet. It's not time yet. Let's see. We got. Oh man, there's a few in my head. Okay, dude, what if we get a Mario announcement? A Mario game. Come on.
Mario. Like, I would love that. And I would love that. And there's a couple of things compounding on that idea. One, why why haven't we heard one sooner, right? And two, why haven't we heard one sooner in relation to the Super Mario Bros. Movie, right? Because a lot of people get the misconception, oh, they're not doing it because they're focused on the Super Mario Bros. Movie, bro. Like, what? Like, to have a game out and about while the Mario Bros. Movie is coming out, it's like, hey,
it's
also
the
continue.
perfect recipe.
Right, exactly. Continue your adventures by playing this game on the Switch. But at the same time, I feel like they're probably gonna do some sort of like backhanded strategy considering Super Mario Odyssey. Because I was actually talking with this with a couple of friends. Like, imagine free DLC based on Super Mario Odyssey, based on the new Super Mario Bros. Movie for Super Mario Galaxy. Kind of like how The Witcher did it for The Witcher show for The Witcher 3. And at the very least, you know, it would probably be the Mario movie version of the cap and the outfit to give Mario those weird movie dimensions. And I'm like, I mean, I'm good with that. And at the very most, like, they introduce a new kingdom based on what we see in the Mario movie or whatever. Because Bowser's Kingdom was very, you know, it was Japanese inspired in Odyssey, right? It was not really like the contemporary Bowser's Kingdom that we're usually known for. It's like, oh, you know, ye old castle and then lava pit everywhere. Yeah. So maybe they'll add something like that. I'm not entirely sure. But like, I would love a new Mario announcements because we're due for one. We haven't had a new, like a straight up new Mario game since Odyssey. Like, people are like, oh, but Bowser's Fury. I'm like, I love Bowser's Fury, but I mean, it's like a companion title to Super Mario 3D World, and it, like, I wanted it to be bigger. Like, I want it to be more. Like, I hate games like that. Like, okay, I don't hate's a strong word, but I hate the feeling of playing a game that I have such a good time with, and it's short. You know what I mean? Yeah,
those are rough. Those are the worst.
A lot of people's like, oh, but shorter games mean like you can play more games, and I see that argument online. I'm like, okay, I get it, but I'm not into that, right? Like, after I finished Bowser's Fury, I'm like, oh wait, that's it? Where's the rest of it? Like, I want more. This was good. Come on,
when I play a game, dude, you want to get immersed in it for. I mean, that's me.
Exactly.
And you want to get immersed in that world for hours. You want to lose time in there. You want to enjoy, look around, not just like blow through the story and then okay, it's done. I can't go back and really figure out much after that. You know.
You know, it's another game that did that, and I'm like, have you ever played Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance?
Yes!
That game is 6 hours long, and I'm like,
yeah,
why?
Dude.
It was so much fun, and it was so good, and the music was amazing. Bro, I adore that combat so much, and it came and went, and I'm like, man,
gone, bro.
So like, I like, you know, when people say Bowser's Fury, I'm like, trust me, I would love for them to build upon what Bowser's Fury started with at like the next Mario game. But where is it though? Like, where is it though? Right?
I mean, dude, it's Nintendo's main guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, he is overdue. What's going on? Why is it so quiet? I can't, you know, all the focus is on Mario movie right now, but that's not stopping the game. That's not stopping the game at all.
But if anything, it will enhance the game because it's like, hey, mommy, daddy, that Mario movie sure was keen. I wish I could do my own, like, have my own adventure. Well, let me tell you, son, with the power of the Nintendo Switch, you know, shit like that.
Yo, you know what would be nuts if they did announce the game at the end credits of the movie, or like that's the surprise after the movie.
That would be so weird.
Yeah, I know. That's like the Marvel approach at the end of a Mario movie, dude. That'd be crazy though. That would oh, dude, that would freak out people.
Yeah, like because they like video games and movies have done that before, where a sequel to a movie is the game, or a sequel to the game turns out to be a movie, or a sequel to a book is a game, or a sequel to a movie is a book. They've done that plenty of times. So if Nintendo just like, hey, bam, does that for Mario, the Mario Bros. Movie, I'd be like, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, because I feel like if we're not hearing about Mario now, right, and just straight up movie, yo, that game is gonna be slid into that movie, bro. I'm telling you, it's gonna happen.
Man, I'm excited for that movie, by the way. So like something Mario related, I would love that. I would definitely love that. And it would shut up all the rumors right now saying that like, hey, Nintendo is probably gonna not have anything for the rest of the year. I mean, like, maybe if they announce a new Mario game, maybe it'll release at the end of the year, or maybe it'll release next year. I'm good either way. But as long as we know that something's coming, right?
Yeah,
and,
I agree.
I really hate the whole conjecture-based argument. It's like, oh, if they were to announce a Mario game here, it will cannibalize the hype and sales of Tears of the Kingdom. No, it wouldn't. No, it wouldn't. All right, literally multiple games can exist. 2017, when the Switch came out, you know how many games came out that year that were fucking banging? We had Breath of the Wild, Splatoon 2, Xenoblade 2, Mario Odyssey, and all those games sold astronomically well.
Insane year. And big titles.
That year went dummy. And then, like, even though no one plays it anymore, ARMS released that year and it sold 2 million copies. Yo, 2 million copies for a new IP? That's actually crazy.
That's
like,
good.
That's cool, man. I'm waiting for ARMS too, man. Like, I actually enjoyed playing that game. But going off of Mario and Zelda, other things that we could talk about is definitely Xenoblade Chronicles 3 DLC. We were talking about this earlier before we went to the call. I feel we're gonna get more information on Wave 3. I don't know about Wave 4, because Wave 4 is gonna be like the Torna equivalent, the Future Connected equivalent, which is gonna probably is gonna release at the end of the year. I would love for them to talk about Wave 4, but I think at the very most they're gonna talk about Wave 3. But what do you think?
They're gonna save their banger for the last part, I think.
Yeah,
guaranteed. Like it makes the most sense, you know, to give us that long, nice ending story to it, and I think that's where it's gonna show up. Too early is not gonna be good. They gotta build the hype, they gotta build the anticipation, they gotta sprinkle the little Easter eggs in there, you know, with the other DLCs, and then the big one comes.
Yep. And I'm here hoping that we get some, you know, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 outfits for Tears of the Kingdom, just like how we got in Breath of the Wild, please. Because look, I love Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and I love Rex as a character, but I'm telling you, that dude was dripless in his original suit, the salvager suit, the blue one. That it had negative drip, and they put it in Breath of the Wild. I'm like, what am I gonna do with this?
They put no drip.
They're like, this is negative drip. As soon as he got his Master Driver outfit later in the game, spoilers, as soon as he got that outfit later, like, oh, now plus on block drip. Plus on block drip. Absolutely, right? But like the whole beginning of the game, that was negative drip. So I hope, you know, we get some Xenoblade Chronicles 3 outfits, because Noah's outfit, the Sword Master outfit, the one with the red jacket, I'm biased, I don't care, that was drip. I hope Link is able to wear that in Tears of the Kingdom. But going off of that, another aspect of DLC, I don't know if you've been playing it. Fire Emblem Engage.
I haven't beaten it yet though.
All right. But I mean, I think it'll be time to talk about more DLC.
Oh yeah, DLC, absolutely. I mean, many people have beaten the main story already now, right? And dude, give me Fire Emblem DLCs. I don't know if I have this strange opinion. I did not like the fact that Three Houses got a totally different spin-off game.
You didn't like Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes?
I needed that and those characters to be part of my regular Fire Emblem gameplay.
It's Warriors though.
I know, dude. But listen,
that game was fun. I don't know what you're talking about.
You know, I just need them in my classic style of Fire Emblem. Like, give me these characters in the classic style too, you know?
Man.
Because not all of them are in the original game. Like, you know, when I see here like new characters, I'm like, damn, I wish I was actually able to play with them in the actual battles, you know?
Right. But I mean, I don't know. Like Fire Emblem Warriors, and then, you know, all the characters that we're getting and then Engage is like really, really cool. And I just hope that like the DLC is gonna introduce some more new characters.
Engage was phenomenal. These characters are fantastic in Engage.
How well versed are you with Fire Emblem characters in like previous games?
Well, so the funny part is like, hey, that's the guy from Smash, right?
Okay, that's all I needed to know. I mean, like, hey, listen, you know, Fire Emblem is getting like rapidly more popular as time goes on.
I played the 3DS ones up from when we were introduced to Robin. So from Robin on up is when I was like really invested.
Oh, so you don't know about that Hector, you don't know about that Eliwood, and you don't know about that Bing Bang stuff.
I mean, I've seen them, you know, roam around bit in that mobile game. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay, so Fire Emblem Heroes is a good way to like, you know, hey, who's this? Oh, like I came from Darcia 776. I came from Genealogy of the Holy War, and
yep.
stuff like that. Oh, wait. Camilla's not in the game yet, right? And because I don't have Engage yet. Is Camilla in the game?
Is she? No, I don't think so.
Okay, that's your priority, Nintendo. Camilla in Engage 100% now. Right? She better be the first character that shows up on that DLC trailer, please.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Disgusting. So, definitely Fire Emblem Engage DLC, Xenoblade 3 DLC, possibly a Mario announcement. Pikmin 4. I think that's a good, for them to show off actual gameplay for Pikmin 4. Have you ever played Pikmin?
Dude, I don't know. I just couldn't find myself playing it. Maybe I need to try it.
Okay, because I mean it's very deep, but it's basically RTS for babies. But I mean, like, there's nothing wrong with that. Before people like, Pikmin is good. I'm like, yes, Pikmin is good. I love the games. I played all 3 of them, and they're amazing games. I mean, like, they're RTSs, like they're my first RTS type thing. And I would definitely have to see Pikmin 4 because that's the game that Mimos are like, yeah, man, this game's been done for years. And I'm like, then where is it though? And then we finally got it, and then I'm like, okay, but where's the gameplay though? And it's like, no, check out this mobile game, Pikmin Bloom. And like, bro, that segment had me so heated. I'm telling you. And during that direct, when he was showing out Pikmin Blue for like an hour, I was like, bro, I'm like, yo, Miyamoto is like slowly turning into a villain. And I'm like, get this game off my, because it wasn't even new information. It was just like, hey, just in case you didn't know, we have this Pikmin Bloom game. I'm like, bro, talk about 4, please. So, man. But
yo, you know what I kind of hope we get? An F-Zero game, bro. Please,
F-Zero. But
please.
Here's the thing about F-Zero, and then here's the thing, like, because this is a great way to segue into the next part. F-Zero, Star Fox, and what we're going to be talking about in a little bit, Metroid, like all of Nintendo's space franchises, they're on like life support, and they have Life Alert on standby because, a lot of people's like, why don't they make a new F-Zero? Why don't they make a new Star Fox? Why don't they make a new Metroid? Which they are, and they did, and thankfully they did, because y'all understand, like, Nintendo is a business. Nintendo's not your friend. They always look for the bottom dollar. If they see a series or they anticipate a series not to sell well, they're not gonna make a game of it, right? So, like, when people say, yo, Star Fox for the Switch, I'm like, bro, I don't know, Star Fox is ever coming back. With how poor, like, I understand the game came out for the Wii U, and, games go out to die on the Wii U, but games still, hit the Wii U and sold enough. I mean, look at Splatoon. Splatoon's on top of the world now. Splatoon started on the Wii U, right? Star Fox Zero, brother in almighty crisis. That game sold barely 150,000 units.
Oh man, that was a rough one.
That
was one where they had the little ship toys, right? That you could use in the game.
No. That was Starlink. I think Starlink is the title, if anything, that is keeping Star Fox alive.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. You see how bad the marketing is, bro? I didn't even know the difference.
Yeah. Like Starlink now featuring Star Fox, and then people were like, "Yo, people ate that up," and I'm like, "I'm glad." And trust me, I love Star Fox. I grew up on Star Fox, but Nintendo needs to understand 2 things about Star Fox. 1, y'all need to market it better, and 2, stop remaking Star Fox 64. Please, move on from that. Not even Star Fox 64. Stop remaking Star Fox 1. Because, like, a lot of people don't know, Star Fox 64 was a remake of 1. And Star Fox 0 was a remake of 64. Stop doing it, please. Please. We have 4 versions of that game. Star Fox 64, Star Fox 64 3D, Star Fox 0. Stop. Give us Assault 2. Command 2. I'll take Command 2, even Command was wild. Oh, my goodness. Have you ever played Star Fox Command?
I have not played Command.
Dude. So that game, a lot of people consider that game not to be canon in the Star Fox lore because that game had like 9 different endings, and it was like one of those games like, oh, depending on your choices, you get an ending. And like more than half of those endings are so fucked up. They're so fucked up. Like you know about Star Fox, right? Like
yeah.
Fox McCloud, Crystal, Falco, also. Bro, like there's like 4 endings where Crystal like breaks up with like Fox and leaves him for Panther and shit. And I'm like. And then, like, each way gets worse and worse and worse. I'm like, dude, whoever wrote this game, are you okay? Like, do we need to talk about something?
They were going through something, bro.
They were going through something. There's like only like 3 positive endings to that game. Like 3. There's only 3 positive endings to that game, right? And it's a 3 out of 9. And I'm like, this is nah, bro. Like, who?
That's crazy.
It's weird, right? So Deadeye Moxie, Fox gets cucked multiple times. Yes, it's weird, right? So Star Fox Adventures, like oh, I love Star Fox Adventures, by the way. So going off of Star Fox, going off of F-Zero, I really hope Nintendo gives them another chance. And if they do, ladies and gentlemen, y'all need to buy those games. Y'all need to buy those games. I mean, of course, if the games turn out to be garbage and then don't buy them, fine. But then, you know, we're never gonna see Star Fox again because
they're gone forever. If they flop, if any of these old boys come back and they flop, they're done forever.
You know, you ever seen Avengers Endgame?
Of course, every Marvel movie.
So you know how Paul Rudd, Ant-Man, by the way, Quantumania. Remember when he's like, "Oh, it's like, hey, if you try this and it doesn't work, you're not coming back." I have that clip on lock every time people ask for a new game, and it's like, "Oh, if this game comes out, like, yo, if you do this and it doesn't work, you're not coming back." Like,
it's so true though.
It is. And whatchamacallit? This leads into the next one, Metroid, right? And I'm not blaming y'all because this is the fucked up thing about Metroid's lineup of games. I'm not blaming y'all because I was in the same boat and I'm like, guys, we cannot stand for this. So you remember when they announced Metroid Federation Force?
That was way back, no?
Yeah, the 3DS game, and that was when Reggie was still with Nintendo, and like people did not want this like weird blast ball looking game, and Metroid Prime Federation Force was even like touched by Retro Studios, and this was the Metroid game that came after Other M, you know, the game that like kind of told us the Federation were like a bunch of pieces of shit, where it's like, hey, Metroid Other M, you play this game. People had a lot of things to say about the game, but then when they look at the Federation, they're like, wow, the Federation sucks. Fuck the Federation, right? And then Nintendo's all like, hey guys, in the next Metroid game, you get to play as the Federation. Yo, what the fuck? Like, why would you do that, right? So that's one thing. The second thing is that the game looked garbage, right? And the game, like, people played it at E3, and the game, like, people did not want this. They were saying that, like, we don't want this. We don't want it. And Reggie's all like, hey, man, like, play the game or don't buy it. You know, that's your choice. We're still putting out this game. So the game came out. And I'm gonna pull up the sales really quick, all right? I'm gonna pull up the sales really quick. All right.
Pain incoming.
Yeah, major pain incoming. Oh boy. So Metroid, and this was a game released on 3DS like straight up into its lifespan. Straight up into its lifespan, the install base was gigantic, right? Gigantic install base. It's a Metroid game. You guys want Metroid, right? The game sold for 140,000 units.
Oh god.
On the 3DS, right? And I don't blame you. I don't blame the consumers because they spoke with the walls like this is not what we want, and they said they made that really loud and clear. But when it comes to businesses like Nintendo, like that's a dangerous game because Nintendo's not gonna look like, hey, okay, we get it. You want to see more of the series, but this avenue was not one that you want us to explore anymore. No, they were like, oh, this game's so bad, no one wants to see Metroid anymore. Right?
Yeah.
So like Metroid was coasting on ice, right? For the longest, and then they announced Metroid Prime 4, which by the way, where is it? They announced Metroid Prime 4, which got a lot of people hyped, and then they announced and put out Metroid Dread, which was an amazing game. Oh, and they did before all that. Well, no, Metroid Prime 4 was announced, and then they put out Metroid Samus Returns, which was a remake of 2, which by the way is one of the best remakes I've ever played in my life because Metroid 2 sucked, right? So how do you take a game that the original was bad and the remake was one of the best 3DS games ever, right? That's the power of Mercury Steam. So then they called it Mercury Steam. They made Metroid Dread, amazing game, one of the best Nintendo Switch has to offer. So Metroid is back, thankfully, you know, because they all spoke with your wallets, and then Samus Returns sold well, and Metroid Dread sold well. And when I say sold well in you know, in relation to what Metroid is known to sell. right? They didn't do Breath of the Wild numbers because Breath of the Wild was just a crazy step forward for Zelda, but they still sold really well to the point. It's like, hey, I feel Nintendo's confident enough to keep making Metroid games. So that long-winded avenue of me going off that tangent comes to Metroid Prime 4. Do you think we'll see Metroid Prime 4 at the Direct?
I doubt it, dude. My hopes for Metroid
Ooh.
Prime is just down. I don't think it's happening yet. I don't think they're gonna announce it yet.
You know, I don't blame you. Ever since that game got restarted in development, I'm like, bro.
I expect it in the winter, bro. I expect it Q4. Honestly,
Man.
announcement.
An announcement. Whoa. I'm also thinking this. I'm also thinking they're saving Metroid Prime 4 for the next system now.
That's exactly what I mean. Like,
yeah, they shifted it over.
Q4, and they're launching that with like this insane Metroid-looking game, bro. Just to test the boundaries of the next hardware.
Yeah, I honestly think it's going to be the launch title for the next system. And, you know, people, it's going to hurt. If and when they say it, it's going to hurt. But I mean, like, it is what it is. And I honestly don't think it's going to be a Breath of the Wild situation where Breath of the Wild came out for the Switch and the Wii U. I think it's just like, they're just like, oh, we're just saving this for the next console.
Next gen. Yeah.
Period. But I'm sure the game is going to look amazing. Retro Studios is awesome. And maybe, just maybe to hold us over, you know, the long rumored, the long theorized Metroid Prime collection for the Switch. Because, I mean, it was there for the Wii. 1, 2, and 3 was packaged together for the Wii. Just take that, upscale it a little bit. Not a little bit, but upscale it, put it on the Switch, happy ass camper me, right? And then I've seen people, and one of my homies, Mike, said that, they're gonna announce Metroid Prime remaster for the Switch, and like all 3, and then he's like, no, just the first one. I'm like, pass, no, I would not want them to do that. F that, right? Because like, if they were to just put out Metroid Prime 1 and like, or separate Metroid Prime 1, 2, and 3 in parts, like to individually sell back to us for the Switch, I'd be like, no. I honestly would not stand for that. And because, I mean, we had the Super Mario 3D collection, and sure, Wind Waker and Twilight Princess were separated for the Wii U, but they were never bundled together to begin with. Metroid Prime 1, 2, and 3 were bundled on Wii. So I'm like, that's the standard. That's what you got to do for the Switch too, right?
Yep.
So in that sense, we've talked about Metroid, Xenoblade, Pikmin, the possibility of Mario, F-Zero, Star Fox, all that good jazz. Can you think of any other, possibly maybe even a surprise or two when it comes to what Nintendo could show off during this Direct? Because we're going to wrap things up. I mean, we're not wrapping things up now, but we're going to wrap things up with Zelda again because, I mean, you know, Zelda.
Oh, man. I mean, we just had a Kirby game, so I don't know if we're going to get into Kirby again right away. It'll be so funny if they did Animal Crossing crap out of nowhere again.
That'd be so weird.
Yeah, it doesn't feel, I don't know, man. It feels like Animal Crossing is almost like a one game per console situation. You know?
Yeah.
Like at that point, if you want to add Animal Crossing, it make more DLCs at that point. You know what? The one thing that no one's ever getting is a Mario Kart. The next one, we're just getting DLC upon DLC.
Man. Yo, bro. Every time I see people, it's like, yo, guys, Mario Kart 10, because they count Tour as 9, which is granted. But at the same time, no, it's Mario Kart 11, because if you're gonna count Tour as 9, you also have to count Live as 10. Live is 10, guys.
Dude, it's ridiculous.
It's 10. So people are like, the next Mario Kart game, and I'm like, guys, I don't know where you guys are getting your information off. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is still selling stupidly well, right? And then when they announced the booster course pass, I laughed. I'm like, oh my god, you guys are never gonna see the next Mario Kart game again. No, that's it. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, that's the last one. Never again. No more. None. Oh my god.
You know what? I forgot. One of the big guys here. Donkey Kong game.
A Donkey Kong game.
Yeah.
But then I would love a Donkey Kong game because like when Donkey Kong Country Returns to Tropical Freeze came out, I love those games. But those games are being developed by Retro Studios, who is busy with Prime 4.
You're right.
So who would develop Donkey Kong? Now listen, Yo, can you imagine if Nintendo just came out of nowhere, just like super boss ass move, and suits just coming out, and they confirmed that we're making a new Donkey Kong game, co-developed by Rare.
Nah, bro,
Like-
yo, that'd be nutty.
No, bro, people would talk that. Yo, listen, you guys already know I'm the Zelda guy, right? News like that may almost eclipse like Tears of the Kingdom news. Like that shit, that would be crazy. But at the same time, Moxley does bring up a good point that I don't think most, I remember many of Rare's old devs, they work for Platonic. Yo, if Platonic came in and it was developing the next Donkey Kong game, that would be actually insane.
That'd be big.
Yeah, man. But aside from Donkey Kong, there was another one that I had in my head, but I forgot it because we got really deep into the conversation when it comes to Nintendo stuff. All right, so Pikmin, Mario, Donkey Kong, Zelda, Fire Emblem, Xenoblade. Whoa. We talked about Pokemon already. Damn, there was something in my head. I'm like, how am I supposed to bring this up? And I forgot it. What the fuck? I'm sure it'll come to me. But no, we talked about Kirby. No, we talked like Kirby's coming out with a new game. You know? So I doubt, we're gonna get anything Kirby related or what have you.
Kid Icarus, that's still up in the air.
Nah, Kid Icarus is dead, bro. It's dead.
I was waiting for that.
But you know what would be cool? If we got the first look at the first cohesive look to Sonic Frontiers DLC. I would love that. I would love that. Man. Actually give us because I understand that the new
You think
playable
that would
characters...
happen at a direct though?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yes. Right. Where I'm like, imagine they gave us like a good look at the playable characters. Like I know the playable characters is gonna be one of the last things that we see in terms of the DLC because that's like at the end of the wave. But I mean, if they gave us like a little sneak peek to that, I would be happy. I'll be so happy. Right. But oh yeah, there you go. Now I remember Splatoon 3 DLC, bro. The Octo DLC. We need to see that at the direct. I love the Octo expansion for Splatoon 2, and I need to see the DLC for Splatoon 3. I need Pearl and Marina back, and possibly the third. Like, there's been rumors about like the third choosable race in Splatoon, like because we have Inklings, Octolings, and like a humanoid, Salmonoid. I'll be down for that because I mean,
that'd be crazy. A third race?
Yeah, I will 100%. And if you guys beat Splatoon 3, then it kind of hints at that possibility of transformations.
Okay,
but
yeah, people are gonna lose their minds, dude. Splatoon is so popular. If you and the thing is, I feel like a lot of people who don't like Splatoon won't tap into the amount of hype that's actually there. That community itself, the Splatoon community, is insane, dude.
Oh yeah, especially in Japan. That shit is on top of the world in Japan, you guys. You guys don't understand. Like, if you thought Splatoon was big in your area, Splatoon is like the hottest new thing to come out of gaming in Japan. Like, it's crazy. Like, and that's such a market. That's such a hard market to have a new IP get that big at this point in time. It's insane. Like,
they're trying esports around it, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah. They're like, Japan just fell in love with Splatoon. It was crazy. Now, to end off the stream, because we have a couple of minutes left, let's dial back to Tears of the Kingdom once again. Now,
bring it back, baby.
What is something that Tears of the Kingdom, like, let's get a little personal. What is something that Tears of the Kingdom could do that Breath of the Wild didn't? That would get you hyped up and like, like, what is something that Tears of the Kingdom could do that will make Breath of the Wild look like a beta test?
Yo, that's crazy, because I'm thinking, like, I'm just trying to remember the goosebumps I felt by just seeing features of Breath of the Wild, right? It's like, what? Oh, man. Okay. All right. Dude, that's a lot of process. But I think playing with multiple characters in the game, just besides Link himself, that'll be a little bit different if that's possible. I don't know. Giving more options, more characters, that's crazy. Having multiple, like not just the puzzles, but having it like a dungeon, like different dungeons. Dungeons would be insane, dude. Like not just, oh, I gotta do this little puzzle, I'm out. You know, fight one or two, three things. I want a full-blown difficult dungeons, and there's gonna be rewards at the end of every dungeons or components to make like these crazy weapons if you complete a set of specific dungeons. Oh my god, dude.
Yo, this is why I had Elden Ring, man. Elden Ring. Like, listen. Finding catacombs, random underground catacombs in Tears of the Kingdom, where either when you beat the catacomb, you either get a wild new weapon, or Philly, check this out. You find the recipe for a weapon that you can only build and that you can't find anywhere else.
The recipe, bro.
Finding recipes, and then a lot of people saying, I don't want Sheikah shrines, I want dungeons. Trust me, I want dungeons too, but don't take away my Sheikah shrines. Dungeons and Sheikah shrines.
Yes,
and like together.
More. Man. Let Ganon's corruption initiate these dungeons that arise from the ground, bro.
Right.
Add those onto it. Give us everything. Dude, oh man, dungeons, sky temples. Give me everything. Just things that we, just keep going in. I'm going and I'm conquering all these. Oh man, dude.
Bro,
I think it's never gonna end.
Breath of the Wild had 120 shrines, right? Have dungeons on top of that, and this is a sequel built for the Nintendo Switch from the ground up. Nintendo up the ante. Give me 150 shrines on top of.
You know what would be even crazier? There's something you could insert before the dungeon to raise the difficulty of it for better rewards. Even on top of that, you put it in and increase the difficulty, bro. That would be nuts.
Man.
Oh man, the bars are setting too high.
Yeah, I know. But no. Nintendo can't blame us for this. Nintendo cannot blame us for this 100%, because Breath of the Wild's like the standards for Zelda when it comes to Breath of the Wild was like insane, right? But Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild is my favorite Zelda game that's constantly fighting in my heart with Ocarina of Time. But it's not perfect. There are things that are wrong with Breath of the Wild that Tears of the Kingdom can easily fix, right? And when that happens, easily best Zelda game, right? Things to fix: as dungeons, more enemy variety, more weapon variety, weapon synthesis, weapon repair. What else? The sky, the underground, all that stuff. Wait. Yes. Oh god. What else?
Underwater. Underwater.
Trust me, I would love underwater.
But that's hard.
That's hard because, like, from going off of what Breath of the Wild was, like, can Nintendo do it? If they do, amazing. If they do, amazing. All right. And like, the one thing that really gets me super twisted about Tears of the Kingdom when it comes to like what could be in the game is when Aji Onuma, when he made the delay reveal, he said that the Tears of the Kingdom will take place in the familiar world of Hyrule and the skies above and beyond. And I'm like, don't do that. What does that mean? Don't do that. Don't do that. Right? A lot of people are insinuating that, like, beyond that, maybe going beyond the borders of Hyrule. That's a little high in terms of the bar.
Beyond the borders, bro. That's like pushing the boundaries.
And then a lot of people's like, maybe he's insinuating the underground. And I'm like, I feel that the trailers already insinuated the underground. And trust me, bro, if the underground is almost as big as the overworld map, like Elden Ring level big in terms of the underground, like the underground where the stars are under the ground, if it's in that ballpark of big, just
hey, bro, now all this Fifth Dimension did was just hype me up even more now. Thanks, man.
Yeah, that's the point. And that is where we're gonna end things off, because we have hit the hour on the hour. But guys, thank y'all so much for coming up to this hype session. Hopefully, the next episode of the Fifth Dimension, which I'd love to have Philly back, the next episode will be an episode talking about what we saw next week, if they show us the direct. So maybe next week will be a good one. If not, I'll see you next week to talk about something else. With that being said, Philly, thank you so much for being here. Let them know where they can find you.
And you can find me on PhillyBeatzU YouTube channel. That's where I go, and I post on Twitter. That's
what I was like. I'm like, and
the Twitter.
And all right. Oh boy. But before I toss it out to the wind, the Fifth Dimension is not only a podcast that I run, it's also a Twitch team that I run for aspiring and up-and-coming creators. So today we are going to go ahead and raid Momo Pokemon, who is currently streaming over on Twitch. If you guys are over on YouTube, you want to make the jump over to Twitch, I would really appreciate it. Power Wash Simulator. All right, so we're going to go ahead and raid Momo and give him our love. And until the next stream, guys, thank y'all so much for coming out. Here's hoping we're going to get some cool, awesome news very soon. And next week is going to be an episode where we're going to, geek out about that. So until then, be brave, dive deep, and enter the Fifth Dimension. We'll check you guys later.